G'day, ZiggyD here, and welcome back for some more Heroes of the Storm, the Eternal Conflict. Us Diablo fans are going to be getting a lot of love over the next couple of months with 2 Diablo-themed maps and a series of Diablo-themed heroes. For the first of those heroes that I'm going to be showing off today, meet the Butcher. Recently in Sydney, I had a chance to sit down with developers Chris ZiggyD and Alan DeBeery, who I had an interview with that's already up on my channel, but they also gave me a personal walkthrough of this Eternal Conflict event and the Butcher and his abilities. So today in this video, I'm going to be sharing my insights on the Butcher's abilities and some of the design of this gruesome new hero. The first thing to know is that despite his beefy appearance, the Butcher is actually a melee assassin. Now when I asked Chris ZiggyD about this, they said that they saw the Butcher as a ravenous, psychotic beast, crazed and hungry for flesh. And that's certainly the impression and feeling we got when we first encountered him in Diablo 1. And on top of that, if they were to make the Butcher a warrior, then there'd be a definite danger of making him too similar to Stitches. So the design of the Butcher being centered around the theme of an assassin makes him a very different hero and play out very differently in the actual game. So in terms of theme and playstyle, the Butcher is all about being as brutal as possible. So to connect with this, he basically sustains this by bathing in the blood of his enemies. So the first thing to know about the Butcher is actually his passive ability. This causes droplets of blood to spawn from heroes and creeps when they are killed, and picking these up gives the Butcher a bonus attack damage up to 25% that lasts as long as he stays alive. This means that the longer the Butcher is on the battlefield and the more killing he does, the more dangerous he gets, and the more valuable target he becomes for the other team. The first of the Butcher's abilities on the Q key is Hamstring. This deals damage in a line and slows enemies that are hit by it. The potent slowing effect of this ability allows the Butcher to keep up his high sustained damage on the target hero until he can down them and then consume their blood. His second ability on the W key is Butcher's Brand. This skill damages and marks an enemy. Now what this mark does is it makes your basic attacks against the marked target heal you for 75% of the amount of damage dealt. This amount is actually doubled against heroes as well. So with the Butcher's high damage and bonus damage, with the doubling effect of this, it's easy for the Butcher to basically out-sustain any hero in a direct one-on-one engagement. As you can see in the background footage here, even a very tanky hero like Johanna has no other choice but to basically back off from this fight because she's never going to win that. The Butcher's third ability on the E key is Ruthless Onslaught. This is a slow charge at an enemy hero from far away that allows you to close the gap and start the fight. This charge makes the Butcher unstoppable, immune to all crowd control effects, and it marks the target so that they have a chance to potentially use a movement skill to try and get away. If they don't manage to get away, then the Butcher will connect with them, dealing some damage and stunning them for a brief duration. Now for the Butcher's ultimate abilities. The first one is called Lamb to the Slaughter. This raises a pole in a target area that attaches the nearest enemy hero to that pole with a chain. If they walk too far away from the pole, it will pull them back into the area. Now this works even if they blink out of the area, like with Zeratul, or if they jump out with Moradin, or any of those sorts of movement skills, they will still be pulled back into the circle and kept there. I love the psychological impact that this ability has, because chaining an enemy to the spot and basically they're unable to do anything to get away while the Butcher wails on them must be pretty terrifying. The Butcher's second ultimate is Furnace Blast, an homage to the fight location from Diablo 3. After a 3-second delay, a blast of fire centered on the Butcher goes off, dealing massive damage to nearby enemies. Now an interesting point about Furnace Blast is that it can actually be used while charging with Ruthless Onslaught. So this means that if timed right, you can essentially hit and stun the hero at the exact time that Furnace Blast explodes. Now when I was getting the walkthrough with the developers, they also mentioned that the level 20 talent for Furnace Blast makes it explode a second time, so there's the potential for incredible damage in teamfights with that. So that's about everything I can remember from the walkthrough I had with the developers. Feel free to ask any questions in the comments below though, as it may trigger some additional memories that I might be able to share with you guys. The Butcher looks like he's going to be a lot of fun and looks like he's going to be pretty terrifying to play against, so I'll be sure to pick him up when he comes out. Keep an eye on my channel for the guides that will come out for him when he does. That's it for now. I'm ZiggyD, and thanks for watching.